Hey, 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 it's Veterans Day. At least it was when I started the recording. Now, I decided to throw up a video without any prep work. So, if it looks a little haphazard, that's why. Actually, if it looks the same level of haphazard, or possibly even better than my other videos, then it's a good sign that I need to work on my editing skills. Probably should anyways, they do kind of suck. So before we get started, I would like to say that I'm a veteran. I served in the United States Army overseas in a war zone. My father is a veteran of the United States Army, and he has served overseas in a war zone. Various members of my family have served under various branches in various war zones, and I'm going to assume that many, or at least some of my viewers, are veterans who have served overseas in a war zone. Now, that being said, this video is meant to be humorous and lighthearted and silly. It is us laughing at ourselves, our loved ones laughing at us, everyone coming together to laugh about something that is a little serious. So, anyone that is deeply offended by this video or any comments I make, then I urge you to contact me via Facebook or the email that's attached to this account, or on the platform that you're watching this video. Please contact me so that one-on-one in private I can tell you to eat a dick. Now, for all my fellow veterans and those who supported them and waited for their return, I raise a drink to you. Oh, veterans. Crazy, salty, angry bastards that we are. Many of us, we find ourselves as outsiders. Wherever it is we go, we don't quite fit in. Now, maybe it's because we have quirks or habits. We do things that doesn't make sense to some of the people around us. And a lot of us may not even realize when we're doing it. I've been called out on it a couple times myself. So I pulled up, I don't know, about a dozen examples from Rally Point and Reddit and my civilian friends that still speak to me, and from my neighbor who's on drugs. Very, very nice lady, but please stop falling asleep on my porch. Cops are starting to worry. So, here are some signs that you might be a veteran. Alright, so we'll get started with this. You just might be a veteran if when you walk into a building, you feel the need to remove your headgear. And your hands just don't feel right in your pockets. Oh, and when you do put your hat on, you want to measure it with the 2 fingers. Yeah. And these are habits. They can be broken. Although, I'm not really one to talk because I still wear my dog tags. I know. Another fun one that people like to call me out on is when you find yourself on the 24-hour clock or the military time. You try to tell someone, alright, yeah, I'll be there at 1500. And they're like, 15 minus 12 is. It's not that difficult. You know, countries all around the world use a 24-hour clock. It's actually better. Not that difficult. How can adults in a professional setting not be able to subtract the number 12? Right? So yes, military time might be a sign that you're a veteran. So one phrase that singles out veterans is make a hole. Make a hole means open up, let people through, they have something important to do, or they are important themselves. Common phrase in the military, at least in the Army. Now, it would remind you of a term, gangway. Now, gangway, believe it or not, was a naval term. See, the gangway is a somewhat narrow passage connecting one part of the ship to another. And when someone shouts gangway, that means clear the path to the gangway, because I got to talk to the captain or the lieutenant or what have you. Now, that term became popularized when the GIs came home from World War II, and it became common in movies and TV shows, and very much so Warner Brothers and Bugs Bunny. So possibly in the future, make a hole will be as common as gangway is today. Kind of interesting to me, at least. So, here's one that I think is just a touch exaggerated. People avoid watching military movies with you because you point out stupid, unnecessary mistakes that the movie makes, especially when it comes to the uniform. Well, my response to that is, fuck you. I taught half-retarded teenagers how to dress themselves and put the right patch on the right arm. It's not that difficult. You have directors and producers and special effects, and you're telling me you got multi-million dollars invested into all these things, and you can't find someone to spend a week teaching these assholes how to fucking put the patches on in the right fucking way. I mean, do you know how many times I have seen a Air Force cadet or an airman wearing a CIB? Shit. Jack Ryan, season 2 of Jack Ryan just came out. Amazon spent how much money making this TV show? And you couldn't find the money to spend to find someone to say, hey, combat infantry badge doesn't apply to the United States Air Force. That's different. I know you saw that in a movie and you wanted to make the person look badass, but yeah, Air Force doesn't have combat infantry badges. It's not that difficult. Most of the people, most of the civilians won't fucking notice. Just make up badges. If I see a make-believe badge, it won't bother me nearly as much as you showing me a fucking E4 with fucking 3 Medal of Honors. Come on. Seriously. Yeah, I don't think they exaggerate it. I just think I'm in the right, though. Come on. If you spend more time explaining acronyms and what your phrases mean, then the conversation would have taken place otherwise, well, you might be a veteran. But I tell you what, this is actually worse. So, you give these instructions to this person, and they act like they're listening, they act like they give a shit, they're all motivated. Cool. Give them the instructions, they nod, and you go back to your job. Well, apparently they go from place to place asking people, what does this phrase mean? What does this acronym mean? I'm confused, I don't know. And next meeting, they either didn't get it done or they did it the wrong way. Now, my thoughts are, fuck you, lazy asshole. Just fucking look at me and nod while you don't listen to me. Motherfucker. No respect for me? Fuck you, I've no respect for you. Right. I learned the less than easy way that sometimes people just don't like to ask questions. Apparently, going, what the fuck are you talking about, might be a little embarrassing. So, for you and any of those you may know that could work for or with a veteran, if they say some fucking crazy terminology that you don't understand, ask. Because otherwise, we're just going to assume you know what we're talking about, and you're just an asshole piece of shit that's refusing to listen. I hope that helps. So, this is funny, but I will admit, when it happened to me, it was less than humorous. And I responded in a not professional manner. But, you have some stories, some funny ass stories, right? And you tell them to people, and they laugh, right? Well, imagine you've told that story to people from various units at various duty stations, and it always kills. You get out, and you get a civilian job. Someone asks you, and you respond with that funny story. Alright? It always kills. Well, this time, people laugh. But you notice some people are a little quiet and some people are a little more quiet. I get it. Takes place in a war zone and people, But the funny part is still funny. Then you get a call from your boss. He pulls you in and says, you can't tell these depressing stories. No? I haven't told any depressing stories. What depressing story are you talking about? And then they quote the fucking funny story. Now, the proper answer is, Roger, got it. I will do better. I will hold back on telling stories. The wrong answer is, what the fuck, you dumbass pussy asshole. That's the funny story. Let me tell you some depressing stories. Don't do that. Don't do that. It is not professionally viable. Alright, so most of my viewers will recognize that I am a bit long-winded. Now, I'm not sure how much will get put in the final product or how long the video will be, but it would not be difficult for me to make a 4.5-hour video. So what does make it online, I do hope it gives you a chuckle or four, and maybe, if you're not a veteran but you deal with them, maybe it gives you a little insight, and the fact that our crazy does have a little bit of a reason. Regardless, thank you so much for watching, and please remember, slow is smooth, but smooth is fast.